record. Okay, I guess we're recording from Zoom. We'll try that and we'll see how that goes. Because apparently I can't record on OBS. I don't know why. That's quite weird. I was being recorded just because of the okay. That's good because I'm gonna upload it on YouTube for people that couldn't make it, you know. But yeah. So first of all, we'll get right going. Right. We're gonna start about the 4 hour. This doesn't get any smaller. Okay, we'll do it like this. So we'll start on the 4 hour. What do we see on the 4 hour? We're bullish, right? And why are we bullish? Simply, first of all, what did we have? You know, we had this liquidity right here getting taken by this week. And then after that, you have this essentially the first move is your liquidity sweep. So we didn't have a breakout structure yet, right? But we were still in bullish market structure. As you guys can see, we're going upwards, right? And as I've shown in my market structure video, simple trend line. If you don't know how to identify market structure, just simple trend line, and you can simply see that we're upwards, right? So essentially, we're in bullish market structure. Now, seeing this, I see the liquidity sweep, and then I see a break of structure, right? So this just shows me that we are still in bullish market structure, as well as seeing that we have the bounce here from the demand zone right here. And if you probably find that it'll be a good touch, but you know, this is a bounce. This is good. This means that, you know, the market structure is still bullish and the buyers are above the sellers, right? And if you look at the 1 hour, it is a nice bounce. Could refine it like this. You could even take the 15-minute. I think that's actually something like a CPI wick, probably like that. So you can't refine it too much, right? Well, anyway. So what do we see? First of all, this is Monday open. And usually on Monday open, I'll wait at least for Asia, which is every day I wait for Asian session. Also, do you guys know how the fuck I fix this? Where's my drawing tool? I want to have my tool because I want to see that because it's going to be annoying all the time. I have no idea actually. I wanted to see it, but anyway. So what I wait for is Asian Open, which is 2 o'clock, right? My time, which is EU time. So usually drop down to the 50-minute to look at the 15-minute structure. Looking at the 50-minute, we're in bullish structure, right? Clear bullish structure. So I'm going to be dropping down to the 5-minute to identify any continuations, right? So what do I see? You know, we have this break of structure right here. We have a demand zone left behind. Deal with on the bottom left side. I'm just gonna, yeah, I think it was, maybe it's this. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thanks for that. So what we could see is just price come pull back here, then move uppers from here, right? Because we have some existing liquidity here. You have this fake, probably 3-minute, 1-minute break of structure. I would wait for continuation buys until we break these highs, or I would just wait for a reversal buy either from this demand zone or this demand zone, right? That's my idea, but it's too early for me right now. I'm just going to be waiting for Asian session. And when Asian session starts, then of course, then the volume is going to pick up first of all, because until Asia session, there's actually little to none volume, right? So we're going to wait for the Asian session, and then we're going to see what price action is going to do, right? So let's move a little bit forward. Okay, so now Asian session started. So now what I'm doing is, first of all, I'm going to be waiting for either this high to break or either price to come back to my demand zone. And if price does not come towards my demand zone or breaks this high, then I'm not going to be trading, right? Because essentially what this is just simple liquidity forming, right? These are just simply liquidity getting formed, and either side is going to get taken. And by the time a side gets taken, for example, if price goes along like this, then it will probably come here, and same with this scenario, break these highs and it will probably go up there, right? So that is my idea. So let's just wait and move a little bit forward, and I will drop down to the 1 minute as soon as we have that 5-minute tap in. And now since we are breaking above these highs, I'm expecting these highs to get taken. I'm also going to mark up this supply zone right here. I'm first of all going to look if this supply zone actually had a reason, right? If this is a mitigation of any other supply zone. And as we can see, this is, right? because this is the mitigation of this supply zone right here. And this is the supply zone that caused, the internal structure to kind of shift bearish, and also the inducement traders to get swept right here, right? This is the inducement because this is the fake bounce, as we haven't tapped inside my demand zone yet. So this was clear liquidity sweep. Now, so this demand zone, supply zone is valid, and this supply zone is valid as well, right? So I'm going to be careful. I want this supply zone to be broken. And if this supply zone doesn't break, then I'm going to be waiting for my continuation bias. So it was the same scenario, waiting for these highs to break. So if I see a reaction, I could possibly take a short as well, right, on the internal structure side. So let's move a little bit forward. We see, what do we see? We clearly take the existing liquidity right here. I mean, it's only a 0.5 pips, so that's a decent sweep, right? If it was like a 0.1, then I wouldn't count it, because like, if you're gonna be honest, every trader who is kind of smart always has their stop loss a little bit above the wick, right? And this is a little bit above the wick. Now, if you had it a little bit above, more like 1 pip, then you're fine. But some people don't do that, so this is a valid liquidity sweep. But if price only goes towards this candle, then I usually don't count it as a liquidity sweep. It does kind of count it, but I could see price come back one more time, because essentially what you're doing is you're forming double top, as it's not a full liquidity sweep, as people always have their stops a little bit above it, right, to cover themselves. And everybody knows that, because everybody does that. So yeah, exactly. We're now in bullish structure, right? So now we drop down to the 1 minute. You see we have this nice little break of structure right here. You have this demand zone left here. Very nice demand zone. Actually has a sweep as well right here. So you actually have like a 1 minute chalk flip thing, and this demand zone got left behind. So this is like a very, very valid demand zone right here for me. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be waiting for price action to retrace towards my demand zone. And based off that, I am trying to take a buy position, right, towards new highs, which we will discuss a little bit later. But for example, as soon as price action makes new highs, so if we break these highs, then I will just add on my POY. And then I want my POY to hold, right? And for example, for the people that don't know, POY is order block, supply, demand, whatever you want to call it. So what I'm going to be waiting for is for price to hold my POY. And if price holds my POY, then I'm going to be looking for them continuation buys, right? So let's move a little bit forward. So this is not a clear break yet. If these highs get cleared, then I'm fine with it. Okay, so now we have clearly structure upwards, right? So now I'm going to be taking this zone, because along the way we have some liquidity, and we also have this liquidity right here. So this zone would be a valid zone for me. So now what I'm doing is I'm simply setting a buy limit, right? This is my confirmation. All I needed, right? We have bullish structure. We have broken the supply on the 15-minute time frame. The supply, if you look at it, right? First of all, we broke these highs, right? Clear break of structure. Second of all, we broke the supply chain that caused, this was the mitigation of this supply chain. So we actually are breaking this supply chain, which should hold, right? Because this is your supply, first supply, right? This is the mitigation of your supply. Now price should go lower if price wants to be bearish, which it doesn't. And therefore, we see that price action is bullish, right? So what we're doing is we're going to be buying and align with these liquidities, right? Liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. We have triple liquidity here. So my entry is going to be people's their stop losses, simply as that. And what I am aiming for is simply a 50-minute high, right? I don't go for 30 RR trades. I just go for a simply 50-minute high. It also depends. Since we have the bounce from a 4-hour demand, I could easily be targeting this high right here, which is right here, or I could be, since the RR is 12, which I usually don't take, I would just consider this high to be fine with me. So that's a 1 to 8 setup on a Asia Open, Monday Open. Very clean setup. It's most likely gonna hit, and if it doesn't, then there's no problem, because we still got this demand zone left right here. So let's see what happens. We're just gonna drop it further, not add anything except if we break structure. Right now we broke structure, but as we see, there's no real conviction structure. We have no real demand zone left behind. This is not really a demand zone, as there's no real up candle. So this is just inducement liquidity being formed. So I don't expect price to bounce from there, and I expect price actually bounce from here. What am I doing? Should be like this. Yes. So So let's take a 1 to 7, right? Because spreads, what is this? Yeah, like half a pip spread. You have to always add spread into your TP and stop loss. So even for here, we could target a little bit less, right? Half a pip spread. So 1 to 7, we could say, right? Because you have to be honest, due to spreads and all that stuff, you're either gonna lose more money or you're either gonna be honest with yourself. So what do we have, right? We have that fake break of structure. Price is just moving upwards, but it's creating very nice liquidity actually, which is going to be super good for me, right? So what I want to see is price just simply act like this, maybe break structure once more. That is fine. But what I want is price to break structure like this, right? Price have no real demand zone left. And what this means is that there's no real buyer stepping in yet, just forming liquidity being inducement. So what I do expect is price to, do all that, form liquidity, take all the liquidity, bounce in my POI, could even go here, take that liquidity, that is fine with me, and then go straight up to my 2P without hesitation, right? Because that's going to be the move of whole Asia. That's what I'm trying to catch. I'm trying to catch the Asian move or any move, because at the end of the day, why the fuck do I delete that? because at the end of the day, we are inside Asian session and we did not have too much of a run. Of course, we did have a 10 pip run, but that's not the move we expect. I mean, pips don't really matter if you're talking about risk reward anyway. But yeah, as I've spoken about, this is very nice actually. What is this? This is only a 1 pip difference. Price forming double top very nicely. This liquidity will get taken as my take profit, right? This liquidity will be one of my take profits. Very easy setup, very clean. This is like real good, right? Because what do you have? You have liquidity forming along the way. What do you have? You have a 1 minute break of structure or 15-second break of structure. You have the mitigation of that, right? Or you even have the liquidity sweep, double top forming once again, actually triple top. People see breaks of structure in the internal structure. So they see that we are bearish, which is dumb, right? This is just retail SMC. If you think a 1 minute break of structure to the downside is going to tell you that we're bearish, then I don't know what you're doing, right? It's the same as a 1 minute support, no holding, right? It doesn't make any sense, but yeah. So what do we have? We're forming liquidity. Very, very beautiful. This is like one of my A+ setups. Just, it doesn't matter how long I'm waiting, because if I see, like, for example, if price goes up and doesn't fill me, then okay, I'm canceling. But what I'm seeing here is that price is actually making liquidity and slowly coming down. It's gonna convince more people to sell, and that's gonna be my take profit. Very simple. So we get the tap in as we anticipated. We took out, we didn't, we kind of took out these lows as well. And we have that bounce, very nice bounce. Now on the 15-second, you could always look for a scaling setup, right? And on the 15-second, what do we see? We see this nice little chalk flip right here. So I'm marking my demand zone once again. And on the 15-second, I don't like to refine too much because it's the 15-second. It's going to be small anyway. So I'm taking this as a scale-in entry. Okay. This is my scale-in. And for the people that can't use the 15-second, just use a 1 minute, right? Because we still have a setup, which is the 1 minute setup is actually better. But this is my 15-second setup. And yeah, if you use a 15, what the fuck is that? Why is this on my screen? The fuck? Yo, what the hell? That's crazy. Trading you playing me. Anyway, let's see what happens, right? So we get the fill. Good reaction. So now what do we see? We want a break of structure after these highs, and then we're going break even, right? Because essentially you have this break of structure, right? So price should only come back to mitigate this demand zone and then run further, right? That's the only thing that should happen. Exactly. So you even could have caught a scaling right here. Very simple. Even the 15-second continuation works. That's crazy, right? So that was another setup you could have caught. Now I wouldn't catch it, so I'm not gonna count that. So once again, break structure. Now I don't expect price to retrace towards here, but you're gonna mark it out anyway and see. But I don't expect it, to be honest, because you already had the mitigation. What the fuck? Oh, what what the fuck? Delete this shit, bro. How does that, wait, what? How is that supposed to happen? Uh clear all drawings. How do I make it so nobody can do this? What the fuck? Yo, that's scary. How do I do that? Does anybody know? I think you can disable that. Yeah, but I don't know how. Wait. Clear. Come back. More, maybe here. Yeah. Okay. There it is. So how do I remove this now? Okay. So it's actually maybe you see another break of structure and another scaling, to be honest. But no, I mean, I wouldn't. Maybe. Let's see. We go to the 1 minute, right? We'll stick to the 1 minute mostly, but I'll also show some 50-second setups that it does exist, right? So what I see now is price action having a small retracement. As I said, I don't expect price to come back towards here, which it could, but I don't expect. Once we see a 15-second or a 1 minute break of structure, we could see price. So let's wait for a break of structure. What do I expect? I expect price to come back here one more time. If it does happen, it could happen. Actually, on the 15-second, I think it's going to be a little bit more clear because you have that 15-second chalk flip once again, which is kind of risky, right? This is kind of a risky entry because you're anticipating a retracement. But let's see if it holds, right? Very simple. But I would probably not take the setup as we are very close to TP and the risk to reward is not going to be nice anyway. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we're going to get tapped in, actually. We actually get tapped in. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so you actually do manage to get tapped in and hit a 2.6 hours is actually decent. But since I was already, I mean, you could have actually entered this, right? Because you're aggressive, right? Because you're up 13%, or if you risk half, that's like 7%. So if you're up 7%, you could easily just risk another percent here and make an extra 3%. That's actually quite, no, actually 1.5. So if you risk 0.5%, that's like, let's count this as 13R, right? This is 13R because we don't count the last entry. If you want to count it as 7R, you count it as 7R because essentially this was nice 2 entries, very clean setup. Actually, that is agent session done, right? That is the agent session done, gone. So now we're approaching, actually this trade was taking profit during a London session, which I didn't notice. So what do I see? Every time my trade hits take profit, what do? I reset my chart view. I look at the 50-minute/3-minute breakout structure. We didn't have a 50-minute clear. We have one, but it's not clear. So I'm looking at the 3-minute, seeing this nice little demand zone right here. So on this demand zone right here, I'm waiting for price to pull back to, and then I'm going to be anticipating a market entry. You could set a limit here, of course, depending on price action, right? If price action forms liquidity along the way with enough confluence for me to take a limit entry, then we could. But currently, I am not really looking for that. I'm waiting for more of a what is it called? More of a market entry. Let me also refine this zone. Let's take it like this, right? So we'll see what happens. I might go on to the 15-second to drop. Let's see on the 15-second if you get a setup, right? So essentially what you have is you have this chalk right here, right? Now we want to break off these highs. You get, right? And if we now get a tap back here, then I would market enter this, right? Limit enter this, because I don't think sometimes on the 1 minute you won't see these setups because price is just too fast. I'm actually gonna check the 1 minute to see. Yeah, you're not finding that in the 1 minute. And then I would target simply, these specific highs. So let's wait, we gotta go back. Hold on. No, it's actually fine. So yeah, it looks like the price action did not come back. So that is entry miss, right? That is fine, completely fine, no worries. Go on to the next entry. Now what I'm going to be waiting for is, I'm going to be looking at the 3 minute. As we see, we are approaching a supply zone. what I want to see is price break the supply or reject from it, and based off that I will take a trade, right? And if price breaks it, then I'm going to be looking for buys, and if price rejects, then I could look for a potential sell, right? So I'm going to be marking this supply zone right here. I see that reaction right there. So we're either going to break it or we're either going to fail from it, right? So let's go on the 1 minute to see. And we have this 1 minute break of structure now, right? You have also all these liquidity taken. Now I'm going to be looking at this. The price were to break the current demand, would you look for sells? Yes, this one you mean. This one. I think you mean this one, right? Mostly yes, on the lower time frame, right? For internal structure, yes, I would just wait for any new demand zone, which is this one, or you're going to be looking at a 15-minute demand zone, right, which is going to be anywhere in this range. But yeah, as I said, I would probably look for sales slowly, but needing confirmation. Now, since we have swept liquidity, I will not take a limit entry right here, and I'm going to be waiting. If price bounce manually, then I will take a market entry right here, because simply we swept liquidity. This is a break of structure, but also sweep of liquidity. So I want to be careful with this. So price inside. Now, when price is inside my POI, I usually want to take that 15-second range. We have that chalk right here. And I want to break above these highs, which we do manage to get on the 15-second. I don't want to be too greedy. I'm counting this as a chalk flip. Price comes inside my zone, taking a limit entry right here. Taking a 2 pip, right? We're counting spreads, and then TP would be this high. Now, since spreads are this, we're taking this high. So this would be the setup. So as we see, we managed to get the entry, price break structure, we break even. We didn't get break even here because price broke structure could always come back to mitigate right here, which is going to be our entry. So we didn't go break even there. Now price broke that structure. We don't expect another mitigation here because we already mitigated one. So we don't expect that. So yeah. Come on, don't be shy. Go fucking get TP. What are you doing, boy? I mean, probably close manually right there, but let's wait. Give it the benefit out of the doubt. I mean, it formed too many liquidity, right? You gotta take it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that's a 1 to 4 setup. I don't think you could have caught that. That's really hard to catch on the 1 minute. Really hard, actually. On the 15-second is more clear, right? Or even the 30-second would be clear, in my opinion. So now what we've seen is we broke structure. If we broke structure there, we had that setup 1 to 4, very easy, very clean setup. Now we swept liquidity, right? We swept liquidity. So now what we're going to be watching is this demand zone has to hold, right? I'm not taking a market entry. I'm not taking any limits yet until I get my confirmation. This demand zone has to hold, right? But now I see double liquidity sweep, and looking at the 50-minute or the 1 hour, what do we see? We still see these double tops right here. So this could be getting swept, right? This is not too much of a difference. I don't know why market didn't went there. Maybe it's for later on, right? So I'm gonna keep that in mind as well. But that doesn't mean that price can't go back down, right? So what I do is I'm gonna be waiting simply for this demand zone to hold. And if this demand zone doesn't hold, then I'm gonna be looking at a 15-minute demand to hold. And internally, I will look for some potential sells, right? So let's simply wait and see. Okay, so we have failed of the demand zones, right? Even this demand zone failed. What is this? Do I have to open really a new meeting? You can't be serious, Zoom. What is this? I'll upgrade after this session. Proceed. Anyway, so this is my supply that caused my demand to fail, right? So I'm taking that into consideration, because if I do manage to get a sell position, I want to sell from there. And then for my demand zone, I'm going to be marking this 15-minute demand zone as we had a 15-minute break of structure, right? So we could anticipate a bounce from there. So let's simply wait, right? Now this is a no trading range for me, right? I'm either waiting for price to retrace to my supply, or I'm waiting for price to come to my demand, right? And since this is the supply that caused my demand to fail, right? The demand supply flip, if you watched my course, you would have known, I'm taking a limit entry and my TP is going to be demand zone, right? So I'm expecting bearish continuations, very simple, clean setup. Let's take a 4 pip stop, right? To count in spreads. As you guys know, we count spreads into our back testing. So let's see. And during this, I do not care what happens, because sooner or later, right, this is just internal breakouts of structures. But as I know that I'm not gonna be greedy. I'm gonna be waiting. I'm gonna be waiting for the extreme, which is my supply that caused my demand to fail. So I'm simply waiting for my extreme zone to be tagged. Simple as that. And if price goes to my demand zone without me, that is fine. I do not care, because I didn't lose money. I only missed a trade, which could have still led to a loss, right? So yeah, we're gonna be waiting. And if price hits my TP before mitigating my supply, then yes, I would cancel. But since it hasn't hit, then I'm just waiting, right? So as we see, in the supply gets flipped very easily. As we said, this is just right useless, because this is my supply zone. I want premium, I want discount. I don't even know what the fuck that's supposed to mean, but I want my extreme zone, right? I want the extreme of the extreme, the best of the best, the A+ setup, which is right here. We're getting close, and now we're getting close. I could potentially look for a 1 minute entry, market entry, or a 15-second entry, and I'm gonna try to show both. So we got tagged in the limit, right? Now what do you see? We see a chalk to the upside. You want that chalk to the downside as well, right? We will firstly do the 1 minute, and then we'll do the 15-second. So we have a chalk flip now. Chalk flip caused by this supply zone right here. Let's take the candle with that. This is my supply zone that caused my chalk flip. So I probably think this will hit. I think we will hit this supply because we also have some liquidity right here. So if you didn't trust the limit, you have a market entry right there. I mean, a more confirmation entry, which is 11R, right? 8 and 11R. And I'm also going to be looking at the 15-second if that gave an entry. Chalk, I mean, you could have caught this at chalk, right? This could have been your chalk. Even if it wasn't, then it would have been this. And this is the reason your chalk happened. So let's see which entry is going to be better, right? And I would take this. I wouldn't take, let's take that high as well. Let's take the same stop for this, right? And then same TP again. Let's see if this actually hits, right? I'm more confident on the 1 minute zone to hit, but we'll see. Now since I already have this entry and this entry, I would not take this entry myself. Right? It would be crazy if all 3 hits. But yeah, let's see. Damn. Okay. So we get 2 tap-ins, right? We're not counting this, but this just shows that the 15-second is actually beautifully refined of a time frame, which is actually a cheat code. Like if you get such a precise entry, that's like 1 to 2 pip, 0.1, 0.2 pip, right? That's such a precise entry actually. And see, price just melts off beautifully. Is that a wick or what? No, that's not a wick, right? Yeah, that's not a wick. So price just melts beautiful, very beautiful. So what I want to see is price to keep continuing mitigating supplies, right? The continuations. And how do I see that? Simply through price, breaking structure to the downside and then mitigating that supply. So I could actually see a scale in. So what do I see? I see a lot of liquidity being formed right here, which is good, right? Now, what do I want? That there's my breakup structure, right? So if you didn't catch any of these entries, you have your entry right here. This is your entry. Liquidity formed up. Actually bearish price, right? And then this, right? This is your setup. Simple. Well, let's see if this holds. it's also something to worry about, if I'm not gonna lie. Would I take that? Would I take that? Let's give it a benefit of the doubt and take it. If I do manage to hit a stop, that's fine, because I'm still running in profits. I'm not removing my stops to here because I have the liquidity sweep, right? So we do manage to get stopped out. That's -1 right there. So let's count this as -1, right? That is your loss. And what do you see? We actually see a chalk to the upside. If we get a chalk to the down, right? I'm not getting bullish, right? From a 1 minute chalk. I want a 1 minute chalk to the downside, man. So I managed to get a chalk flip now. It's a clear flip. People will think that this is a break of structure into demand, which it is. But since I know that the internal structure is bearish, I know that we will break this demand very easily, which is going to be with this supply zone right here. So you could also look at the 15-second to refine that. I would probably refine it like this, but I don't want to refine too much, but let's take it. Why not? Because we're already in a position anyway. I'm gonna refine that page to the most. So this is my position. And if this hit TP, then that -1R is just a beautiful loss. I don't even give a fuck, right? Let's take a 2.5 pip to cover spreads, right? So that would be a 10R. So we managed to get a tap. We have the, can't even see that. We have the break of structure. So now we're break even. Very beautiful reaction. We actually are gonna hunting these lows. Very clean. Very, very, very clean. That's actually very clean. I'm not gonna lie. That's 10. That's -1. Can I explain switch from bullish to bearish again? We switched from bullish to bearish because we had okay, wait, hold on. Let me go a little bit back. Okay, hold on. So what did we have, right? First of all, we'll talk about this later. So what we had was we had that break of structure, right? We had liquidity. And then what that break of structure gave us was, as you see here, price sweeps the low, then goes higher, right? So we had a setup right there. We swept liquidity, and then we failed to hold this demand, which price shouldn't do, right? If you're in continuation bias, price shouldn't fail a demand. And it could fail a demand, then you're going to be looking at this demand, which is your 3-minute demand. And this demand also failed, right? Our 3-minute demand right here failed, and this one failed as well. So essentially all these demands failed, right? And after all these demands failed, I'm going to be waiting for my 15-minute demand or my 4-hour demand. And internal structure is already bearish. Even on the 15-minute, your internal is going to be bearish, right? You have that 15-minute chart right there. So simple. That's how I switch from bullish to bearish. My supply that caused my demands to fail, which I've spoken about a lot. This is very clean. 8, let's count 8, 12, 20. We don't count this. 30 -1 yet. We'll count at 30R, right? That is 30R in one single move right there. I actually have to restart this meeting. It took me about I'll explain it, and I'll make a new Zoom meeting, and then I'll explain that, right? So give me 1 sec. Let me just hold on. Let me just make a new Zoom, guys. Okay, go to the Discord, and I will send the link there, right? So hold on. Let me set up a new. This is actually stupid. I don't know why it is, but what happened, bro? After 40 minutes, the time ends of Zoom. It's fucking weird. I have to upgrade to get more time, so I will do that tomorrow. Because it will be annoying. So what type of demands do you want to see for a break of structure? Let's start again. What type of demand zone you want to see for a break of structure? I want to see a demand zone that creates a break of structure. Simple. What do you mean by that? What type of demand zone you want to see? I really don't understand your question, bro. If you want to make it a little bit clear, just a little bit, right? Small bit. Because I see a demand zone. Where do you see demand zone? Which price tag? Let me see. Which price tag? But you said it's not a boss. You mean this one? It is a break of structure, yes, but it's not a valid demand zone. And why is this not a valid demand zone? Because your break of structure is inside your demand zone, which doesn't exist. Would you think, how can I make this clear? I have to think a lot about this. Would you think that, for example, like whenever a break of structure happens, right? Let's go somewhere else. Let's go somewhere else. Whenever a break of structure happens, right? This is this a break of structure? Yes or no? This one right here. Let's see. I think so. Yes, it is. Do you think that this is a valid demand zone? Like, which one would you prefer? This demand zone, right? Break of structure. This demand zone right here, or this demand zone? Which one do you prefer, or which one would you take? First, you mean this one or this one? Which one is it? The one below or the one above? Below, yes. So that's the same with the 1 minute. This is a demand, but your demand is inside your break of structure. So it's very choppy. So I'd rather take this demand zone, which is a clear one, right? Clear break of structure by this demand zone. That's why I'm going to be working with clear demand zone. And yes, that could be a demand zone right here. Price could bounce off it, but I'm not taking that because I don't like it. Simple as that. I hope that makes sense. So we're now going to scroll a little bit further on the 3 minute. We see price break structure, sweep liquidity. So we're out break even, but what do we see? We actually see a big impulse up, which is kind of cocky. So we got break even, right? We're break even right here. So we went into profit, but that's fine. Now, actually, what do I see? I see this kind of chalk flip setup right here, right? So like kind of like that, it's actually this high right here, but that's fine. So perfectly, I want to wait for price to break these highs, this high right here, and then price come back towards my demand zone, which I want to be taking. I want to be taking the demand zone. I would probably take it like this. How many pips? Only 2 pips. Yeah, I could take it like this, the last down candle, and then wait for the 1 minute market entry. So we're gonna wait for price to break highs, and if it breaks highs, we could actually limit it. Maybe depends on the time. If it's around London Open, then I'm limiting this. So we break structure. We actually form some liquidity, which is nice. So I'm taking this if it happens between 9 o'clock and around 9:30 o'clock, because it's London Open, and this could be fast. This could give me no confirmation at all. We target this. This could give like no confirmation. Yeah, well, there it goes. Could have get an entry right at this bounce. I mean, is that gonna be any good? Not really, but yeah, as you see, London Open very violent, no confirmation at all. Demand zone was like this. So that's a decent tap into demand zone. Good reaction, very violent, very fast because London Open, right? Shit goes quick. TP hits 1, 2, 3. That's a fail. Okay, so what do we now keep in mind? We're probably gonna be going a little bit deeper inside for our POI. So now what do you see? Break of structure. Supply zone left behind. This is the mitigation, so we're taking this one. So we're now gonna go on the 1 minute. We see that we are internally starting to be bearish. So either we're gonna be waiting for continuation sells, or either we're gonna be waiting for my POI, right? So my limit here is set, right? I'm taking the POI like this. My limit here is set, right? If it comes back, it comes back. Where am I targeting? I'm probably targeting the 4-hour lows. It's gonna be right here, the 4-hour low. I could easily see price go this low and then bounce back. Okay, so let's do like this. 1 minute. It's a little bit too big, isn't it? Like this, so it's a little bit on the side. Am I recording? Okay, holy shit. Just kidding. But OBS recording as well. So breakup structure. Nice breakup structure. This is the first continuation, so I want a mitigation first, then a breakup structure. So we get a chalk to the upside right here. We have that small chalk to the upside, small chalk to the downside. So since we swept liquidity and we had a decent reaction, I will take this supply zone because this is the mitigation, the sweep of the liquidity. Small chalk flip, risky entry. Risky entry. Could also take a market entry if price comes here. Target was, where was the target? It was right here, right? Is that the 4-hour low? What the fuck? Why is it, huh? Why is it not working? What the fuck? Why can I not make this smaller? That don't make any sense, bro. But yeah. So it looks like this is my low, so we're targeting that, I guess. So yeah. So this is my setup, right? 1 to 5. We could call it a 1 to 5 with spreads. The timing is nice. Tap in, reaction. Do we manage to get a 15-second chalk flip there? We do, right? There's your 15-second chalk flip. So if you didn't take the limit, there's your entry. Take an entry from this POI. Let's remove this to the side. Move that like that. Sell right here. Stops to be. Do we do below that high? Let's do this high. I mean, let's do that high. Okay, it's fine. 3.5 pips. And then TP this low. So there's your two entries, right? One on the 1 minute, one on the 15-second. Get the tap in. So wait for a breakup structure and we go break even. Price comes back multiple times. There's your breakup structure. Right, that's a small breakup structure. Now we could see price mitigate once again. So there's your third entry. And why do I see price coming back? Because we went multiple times into the mitigation. This is demand zone, kind of a 1 minute breakup structure. Come back, come to the demand zone. Demand zone got failed by supply. So there is your, once again, your entry. If you manage to want this, and this is going to be a tighter one. Take a stop, like 2 pip stop. That's like hella positions. Kind of making me tired. Holy fuck, how many positions is that? It's like 5 5R right there, and 5 5 10 and 9 19R. Ooh, that's not an entry. Are you kidding? Okay, so we didn't get tapped in, unfortunately. Very unfortunate. But yeah, we found. Oh, why not? Huh? Yeah, no tap in there. That's kind of gay. That's kind of gay. But yeah, no tap in. It happens, guys. It happens. Part of the game. Okay, TP hits 5 5 10 or 53, right? 63 now. We're at 63. Risk to reward ends only Tuesday. Oh, that's crazy. That's lovely. But yeah, and then some of you like ask like, how do I do this? It's simple, backtest every day and get the same session with me. So now we swept liquidity. So we're now, kind of looking for a reversal. We're also gonna see if there's another POI upcoming, which is right here. So we could still see price take that liquidity and then come back down. But we'll see. We're gonna be looking at the 15-minute. We still have a demand zone right here, right? Because that was it looks like this was inducement. So this is kind of the real mitigation. That's what it looks like. Maybe we could refine this on the 3-minute. I'm gonna delete this from my ad, bro. It's all part of the, trust me, it's all part of the grind. If you're not down to grind, then you're not supposed to win. Okay. Anyway, we want to tap in. There's my tap in. Beautiful. So now I'm looking for a reversal buy. So what do you see? Chalk one. Chalk one once again. So now I want the flip. And when the flip comes, I'm in, right? Let me see if we had a 15-second chalk. No 15-second yet. I don't see the emoji, bro. Okay, so there is the move. So now we could buy from here. Oh, what the fuck? So yeah, like this. Stops to be like this. Targeting reversal high, simply a London high. We should have removed all of that. 5 people watching. Respect whoever's watching. Should we do this in 2 sessions? Maybe it's too long. I ain't gonna lie, it's been long, bro. I probably won't do Friday as I did the breakdown for that, so I won't do Friday, guys. But yeah. So we have the sweep of the low, which is nice. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bitch? Are you trolling? Okay, no managed to tap in. Break of structure. So we wonder, why am I on the 4-minute? What the fuck is wrong with me? What the hell? So now we have this demand zone, which we're trying to long from, right? So price managed to, I guess, bounce before getting us. Yeah, so we have that break of structure now. So we could see a bounce from here. I'm setting a limit right here as well. This was also a limit, but I was just too lazy. Also, I'm still keeping this limit. And if you ask me why, is it because I still think we will retrace? Maybe, maybe not. Trying to catch a move, right? Either the continuation or either the reversal. So we'll see. This is a rollover, so I'm waiting. Really not that deep. So yeah, now my limit is canceled because it's rollover. So let's delete this. Oh, we're gonna be waiting for Asia. Fuck. Wait. Wait. In a way, this just happened. What? Yeah, there's no way I'm catching that. It's 23. No, there's no way I get an entry that spreads like 50. So yeah, that's not counting. So we're now Wednesday, right? Now I'm just waiting for a 15-minute break of structure. What is that? My bad. 15-minute break of structure. Simple. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. That's fine. And I'm gonna be waiting. So what do I see? You have first of all, you have the liquidity sweep, then you break structure. So now I want a clear break, which is right there, right? I like that. So now I expect price to come higher. I'm also gonna mark a 15-minute demand zone. which is gonna be this one, right? Maybe at the 3 minute. Yeah, so I'm marking out this one. No, I'm not marking out this one. Nobody's taking that as a demand zone, okay? That doesn't exist. Also, whoever is still watching, respect Marco, Mosaic, you and Ricky. Respect to you guys. You're grinding like that. But yeah, I'm taking this supply demand zone because that's the real reason we had that break of structure. On position right there, stops to be like this, 2 pips. And then TP, we're targeting these highs right now. Okay. This is the setup. Okay, so we see another break of structure right there. It's kind of liquidity forming up. So I'm still taking my entry. Really gonna look at the timing. I want to take my entry before London Open. At London Open, I'm gonna be a little bit more tricky. So we managed to get a tap in. Okay, so we're getting subbed out. The real man was slide into the yeah, exactly. You can actually ask questions, which is good. Right. So you can that's why I love the live session, because you can actually ask questions. But yeah, that's -1R right there. Let's go. Yeah, crazy. But that's -1R. So now what do we have? Demand zone, liquidity sweep. Let's see if we see the reversal continuation right here. So we had how much? 63. So this is now 62R. Right. So I just want to see 2 white candles and I'm in, right? So price break this with conviction and I'm in. So I mean, it's probably a 15-second chart flip. Yeah, there it is. If you're trading 15-second, there it is. So you would have taken this on the 15-sec, right? And then we'll also show one on the 1 minute. And we're targeting these highs. Or are we targeting those highs? No, we're targeting these highs. What am I doing? We're gonna be greedy, as this is a good setup. I like this setup a lot. Or actually, no. Should we do it? And that is a supply chain. Look at the 15-minute. You always want to make sure where you're taking profits. Like you have that, like that. This was inducement before having the real mitigation, which was our demand to supply fail. Oh, remember this? We would have taken a sell right here. So I'm gonna be picking around here. So take that, but just spread, okay? So that is my entry, which is gonna be 11R, and then I'm waiting for the break above. And then I'm in once again for the 1 minute entry. Stop, same stop. I mean, that's a very ugly. I mean, 4R is also fine, to be honest. So there's that setup. Good move. See how beautiful that is? Break of structure. We come back to demand zone. Another setup. Clean setup. 2 pip. Like this, 7R. Very nice. Come back after break of structure. That's crazy, right? Like, see these continuations, how OP they are, right? If you do them correctly, boom, that's another setup. Look, it's as simple as that, guys. And once it, bro, there's no way, bro. Look, once again, once again, of that. No, just the stop is, for example, 2.3. I just add half a pip for spreads. That's it. So there's your third entry, fourth entry. So 15, 16, 21, 21, 10, 21, 5, 26R, right? I'm only gonna count 11R because that is the extra entry we took. But you could have caught 26R. See how beautiful these demand zones are? Yeah, see, bro, I'm telling you, this shit is OP if you just know how to use it. And that's, by following me. I'm trolling, but yeah. There's the entry. Now, we're at the supply. We want a supply to fail or rejection from this demand supply. So we have the first chunk right there. We could see the flip happen and then retracement. So this is the supply that causes my 1 minute demand to fail. Let's see if it fails these ones as well. Then we could see a sell from that supply zone very soon. So I'm taking a sell limit from here because we had that chalk flip inside the 15-minute supply, which caused our drop back, right? And then we're going to be targeting these lows. Very simple setup. And along the way, we could maybe take another setup towards here. So we want to break of structure now because we know we are in continuations. And there's my break of structure. This is my supply zone left behind. We have some liquidity being formed. Beautiful liquidity. There's not trend line liquidity. There's just stop losses, right? And then stop loss should be, for example, 3 pips. I'm doing 3.5 because half a pip spread at least. And TP like this, 1 to 5 setup. Very beautiful, very clean. Let's go. Let's also look for the 1 minute. If you see another setup on the 1 minute, like confirmation setup inside the demand. Right, what do you actually have? Wait, so chalk to the upside. Now I want to see one to the downside. Chalk to the downside. Now price could come back, mitigate that supply once again. So we're not going break even yet, right? We're not going break even yet. Also, where am I taking profit? I'm taking profit here. I don't want to take profit there because that is the liquidity sweep of that low. There's not much liquidity there as that is the essential bounce. So we're taking profit. Let's take it here. Let's not be too greedy. I don't want to be too greedy because inflation. Right. So before this, I'm closing for sure. And I could probably take buys because we're in demand zone. But we want to see the entry confirmation maybe. So let's go back. No, we hit TP, we're out, right? Now, what do we see? You know, we had the sweep of this demand zone. This is the demand zone that caused the mitigation. So not really a demand zone. Let's see what price action does. We're still inside our demand zone, right? We're still inside the demand zone. So we see a break of structure, which is good. Now we want to see price come back here. And then I'm taking buys. And I'm only taking buys because there's news, right? Because this wouldn't be the confirmation yet. And I'm not, yeah, I could actually take a limit. Could have taken a limit right here. And then stops like this. TP, you know, since it's news, I'm also not risking 1% here, by the way. I'm only risking 0.25 or 0.2. And since it's news, we're targeting these highs. So we're not making 17%, we're making a little bit less, right? We actually get stopped out, but I'm taking another entry. And I'm expecting this to be a liquidity sweep. Because we are at this 4-hour double bottom. I wouldn't expect news to be bearish since we're in a demand, right? That's very less likely to happen. Because it's only news, right? Because I'm only anticipating news. I would not be buying right now if it wasn't for news. Okay, so see this as a little bit gamble, right? I mean, you could have even entered at this break of structure. But yeah, looks like news is on our side. TP hits in 3 minutes. 8R, but since we're risking 0.25, that's going to be 1/4. So that's 0.2R. That's going to be 2R. So 74 because we also took a loss. 74 risk to reward. And it's only Wednesday, guys. You know what I mean? And then we're simply going to be looking at a 15-minute POY or a 4-hour POY. Let's see. We have a POY right here. And then on the 1 hour, 15-minute, do we have a POY? we do have a PY right here, right? What do you have right here? We have this break structure. You have that mitigation, which is nice, but we still have some liquidity like this. So I expect these liquidities to get taken, which just happened, which is nice. So let's see if we manage to get our setup. We want a chalk flip, so we want this and then this to happen. That liquidity sweep is fine. So this is my setup. Sell limit, right? Just because we have that reaction, and since there's news, I mean, there's so much inefficiency. Like, I don't expect to drop down any further more, drop back up any further before coming a little bit down, right? And it could even target way lower, but I'm just gonna be targeting this. I don't want to be too greedy, right? So we managed to get tapped in, beautiful. And there's your take profit, done, dusted, simple, easy. 3R done. So we're at 77 now. Just cut it down. The supply zone is holding this demand zone right here. So let's see what happens next. We want to see these. We want to see this fail, right? So we want to see price go above the demand. Okay, that's a liquidity sweep. Well, how the fuck am I getting entry from that? We have a chalk to this, right? I want to chalk to the downside now. We get it. Here's my entry. Taking a sell right here. Stop is gonna be a little bit wide, but I'm gonna be targeting these lows right here. So this will be my setup. It's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a little bit more of a swing because it's very much pips. But let's see whenever the setup hits. Hope it's inside a trading hour. Like Asia would be perfect. Not during rollover, please. That would be pissing off. I mean, limit is closed until 1 o'clock. Okay, so limit is back open. We're getting close. Okay, we have that limit. Very nice. 1 minute chalk flip. Let's see if we manage to get another mitigation. Because essentially we have that 1 minute chalk flip. So could be looking like this. Passing a shell with just too easy most of the time we feel good. Yes, very true. Except I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have FOMO anymore. Psychology, you are very true, very true. I agree with you, brother. And you just need experience and somebody to tell you to man the fuck up and not take any bullshit entries. That's what I think. But yeah, break of structure, continuations. Once again, bro, it's gonna be the fourth line. That's crazy. I think we'll finish on this one, to be honest. So I'm taking a sell here, or I have to wrap it up in 10 minutes. I'll check this out a lot of times. Too much of golden nugget. I appreciate it, bro. Yeah, let's take a 4 pip because spreads, right? Always account in spreads. Same TP again. 1 to 9. Tap in. Good tap in. So now we broke structure once again. So we have another supply chain. So you could take an entry right there as well, because this would be more confirmational than the first entry I took, to be honest. Take a 3. Go back. What's FOMO? Fear of missing out. Whenever, for example, price goes without tapping you, so you would market enter, and then price reverses on you. That's what the bad thing of FOMO is. So we're not break even because we expect another mitigation, right? There's one mitigation. Oh, nice, no stop. Oh, that was close. Damn, crazy. Let's go. Let's go. 11, 9. 11.10 for 28 R, 28. Plus 77, that's 105, right? That's a 105 R, but 105? Crazy, my boy. Oh, I'm crazy. Yeah, so that's actually a big setup. I'm impressed by myself, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck am I doing? But yeah, now we're inside the 4-hour POI once again. We have some news in a little bit. What is this? PPI. So we could see a big move. Okay. And since we're in demand, I'm gonna be buying 100%. If we don't fail this demand, I'm 100% buying. I don't care because we're just news. I know for a fact 99% we're gonna fly up. So what do we see? Break of structure. I would not take this sell because simply it is inside a 4-hour demand. I would be looking to probably take a buy here if you break structure to the upside somehow. I want to 7 minutes. I want to close this ASAP. This is Thursday. I'm not doing Friday as I said because Friday is already done in this breakdown right here on Instagram. Check it out. Made like fucking 9%, 4.5 bags. Crazy trade. But yeah, waiting for news. Okay. Price comes to demand before news is perfect. It doesn't. Okay, that's a move and a half. Take a lot of liquidity. Not liking that reaction there. Not liking any of that, to be honest. We don't, yeah, see, there's no confirmation of bullish bounce right here. You have the 1-minute chalk flip, yes, but this is not a bullish bounce, right? But if price manages to come up here, then I'm market entering right here. And then I'm targeting for a little bit higher, for like probably towards that supply right here, which didn't get mitigated yet. So exactly, no entry. We're still inside demand zone, so we could still look for buys, right? And we're also going to consider this because this is the zone that caused my demand zone to fail, which is supply demand flip. Break of structure. Looks like we have some bearishness. We have some liquidity. So I'm taking this supply zone and mitigated. For a sell, going a little bit crazy. Let's not get too cocky though. But yeah, it looks like we have bearish price action, to be honest.